For the past few months, I've been in a creative block. And there was a few things that kept me from actually doing the work. You know how it goes. Lack of motivation, fear of failure, the constant pressure I put on myself for every project to turn out perfect. I mean, maybe it was even a combination of all three. So anyway, it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything. I was submitting projects for brand partnerships, I traveled with my family, and I was writing my ideas down. And as my laundry list of my DIY project ideas began to pile up even more, it clicked. And finally, I realized I just needed to stop ruminating and just get started on something, anything. All right. So one of the projects that have been on my list of things to do is this bookcase. So today I'm ready to jump back into my creativity and I'm going to be getting started on that. You are watching DIY by Nikki Foster. So here is my current bookcase. At one point in time, when I first did my living room makeover, it was neat and it looked like this. Before that, I had the books with the spine facing out, and this was supposed to be temporary, but I never got around to doing what I actually wanted to do. Anyway, it's a hot mess right now. Originally, I had envisioned for it to look like this, or even this. I mean, the list goes on, and I never got around to doing it. So recently I was on Instagram and I saw another creator with a similar setup to me have this amazing setup, and I'm like, I'd like to try that in a different way. And because I was originally so indecisive, I just decided to do something creative and I landed on this. And so here we are planning this paper flower bookcase makeover. But let's get rid of all the books first. If you guys have not read this book, this is literally one of my favorites. You guys need to read this. So there was a little bit more to this DIY backdrop, and part of it was because I wanted a space where I could have an alternative spot to post up and take pics, or have a place where I could sit and create talking head videos. And honestly, another major reason was to simply share a craft with you, a DIY project, if you will. Sometimes my nerves are shot and I need to just sit back, rethink, regroup with myself, and making stuff never let me down. So here's to making stuff and trying something new. And here's how the bookcase looks completely empty. I like how it reminds me of a blank canvas, having a space to start something fresh and new. Okay, so here are all of my books that I took off the bookcase. And as I was taking them off of the bookcase, I realized there were so many books that I forgot about. I have no intention of reading. I have a few favorites that I know I'm gonna put back into my collection, but I don't really want the clutter anymore. Like if I don't want to read them, if they're just books that I'm just not interested in reading, and I didn't love, I plan on getting rid of them. So for now, since I'm going to be doing this whole thing, this flower inspiration bookcase, piece, I'm not going to put the books back in right now, but when I get ready to redo that part, I will be going through these books one by one, keeping the ones I love, keeping the ones I, love to read for reference, or, those type of books. And the ones that I don't need, I'm probably just going to donate because it just makes sense. I just don't want the clutter anymore. And I feel like that's a really good idea. I hope you like it, and stay tuned. You guys know I'm big on cleaning, so I just had to share this step with you. Even though it was only a little bit of dust, I still wanted to just show you the whole full process like I always do. So it was only a little bit of dust that settled onto the bookcase, so I just used an all-purpose cleaner and some paper towels to wipe it down every shelf, and it got the job done. All right, I don't know if I should do the kids' books the same. I think I should put them to the side because this is supposed to be really in their room anyway. Now, books. Keep pile, giveaway pile. Sorting through the books was pretty easy. I found books I highly recommend, definitely 2 keepers, and even ones that almost made me cry. Every day. Aww. Oh, my grandma gave me this book. All right, this one's definitely a keeper. Can't get that away. Books that were really thought-provoking. Real talk, if you haven't read this book, this one is one you have to read. It's so good. Just one of those ones that deals with time travel, but also just kind of real events. Definitely a must read. And I didn't need to say it, but this is definitely going in the keep pile. But through all the sorting and decluttering, it was a subtle reminder of why I started collecting books in the first place. It was to keep the ones I love so I can go back and flip through the pages again and again. I overthink things a lot. And that's why all of these journals are making it to the keep pile. When I overthink things, I think about, did I say the right thing? Did I say the wrong thing? You know, like I'm super emotional about it, and you know, I'm human. So that's why these journals are definitely making it to the keep pile. All right, so before we get started, we're gonna need a couple things. Paper, and I'm using a couple of different colors and a few different sizes since I'm interchanging between the Cricut Venture and the Cricut Maker. Tweezers, a hot glue gun, hot glue sticks, and floral stem wire. I'm using my Cricut Venture first to make all the flowers. I really like how many it can cut out at once. So since I'm doing an entire bookcase, I basically wanted to be able to cut out as many flowers as possible. So I'm using the 24 by 28 size paper and cutting out yellow, red, orange, and pink paper this time. Once all the flowers are cut, I put them all in a pile and I got started on assembling them. Day one was what I would call a vibe. I mean, I was hyped up, ready to go, singing along to some of the songs that shuffled onto my playlist. I know you love it, say you love it. Vitamin C, I mean, yellow like bright as a bee. You know you are home, girl. I mean, I was vibing out while making these paper flowers, and I was just in one of those moods that I was like really excited to get the project started. And I made pretty good progress because I was focused and found myself enjoying the therapeutic nature of just sitting and making. Day two is when I started realizing I might have bitten off more than I could chew. There were just so many flowers to be made. I mean, I was still vibing, still liking the process, but it just didn't hit the same as when I started with fresh energy. And here was a look at the process of me making the flowers. It was easy, but it just got repetitive after a while. I grabbed a paper flower cut, used the tweezers to start rolling, and just kept rolling to make sure everything was held together. And then at the end, using a little bit of hot glue to secure everything fully together. And then also a lot of hot glue to secure the base of the flower shut. See, it was pretty easy. I have to admit, I did get pretty excited when I started to see my hard work piling up and the rolled paper flowers looking full and pretty. By day three, I was still working pretty hard, but I was kind of over it. But I kept on powering through anyway because I had goals. I had already committed to this project and I wanted to see it through to the end. One thing I like to do when making paper flowers is use different types of greenery and different colors of greenery. So I kind of always think that using different colors of greenery helps to make the flowers look a little bit more realistic. And I'm gonna show you what I mean. I ended up cutting out a few different colorways of green to give my flower wall some variety. I then took it a step further and cut out different leaf styles, some big, some tiny, some right in the middle. I think this offered depth and texture to add to the realistic feel that I was trying to give off. So you guys remember the stem wire. All right, so we're just gonna take one, and it's pretty long, so I'm just gonna cut it in like threes, and I'm just eyeing it. The vases I got are kind of small, so if we need to cut it down a little bit more, we can. All right, so I'm just only gonna cut this. There we go, and then look. All right, so then this other piece, I'm just gonna cut it again, kind of in half-ish. So then I got my three pieces, and I'm ready to assemble the leaves. I have to say, getting towards the end of this project reinvigorated that creativity I was talking about before. So like when I finally started seeing all the pieces come together, I got inspired again. For the stems, I had cut out a bunch at one time. I used small jewelry pliers to curl and fold over, essentially making a tiny hook where the stem would hang onto the paper leaf. And then I used hot glue to secure it in place. and then I use a lot more hot glue and place a flower on it. I really enjoyed this part because once the leaves went on, it took the paper flowers to like that next level. I mean, I know it's paper, but still, when I do something and I'm like trying to go for that realistic look, I like when it comes out like that, and I definitely wanted this to look good. Some of the leaves, I decided to use this trick I had seen online a while ago and I never got to try it, where you use like a foam molding mat and a metal stylus ball and you round out the flower petals to make them look a little bit more real. So I used mine for leaves. It helped for some of the flowers because when you molded the leaf, it helped the flower to sit right in the middle of it. And even though it was one more step, it was worth it. I especially loved how the tiny leaves turned out. I didn't mention this before, but I had made different size flowers too. So imagining I had went to the market to get flowers, usually there's a bunch of different sizes all throughout the bouquets I get. And I love the idea of like trying to recreate this. And one of the final leaf styles I made was this quad of leaves. Again, the stem went in the middle, the flower went on top of the stem, and at the end, I had glued the leaves all around the flower so it could look like more of an enclosed rosebud. When I was making, I started experimenting and I couldn't stop making these. I don't know, I just liked how it looked and how it turned out each time I made it. For this project, I purchased small bud vase sets off of Amazon, and I'll link them in the description box below. I just wanted to show you a few of them up close, just so you can see how pretty they are. I loved how versatile all the vases were, all the details that was in them. One set I got had a lot of repeats, so like a lot of like horizontal lines or, you know, just very similar styles. And another set I got, each one looked so unique. They were just very different, all of the vases all throughout. So anyway, I could see myself using these again for other projects too, not just this one.
I'm gonna tell you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my voice, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I'll miss you. I'll miss you if you go. Yes, I'm gonna let you know just how much I tell your mama, I tell your papa too. I'm gonna let everyone know.
And here's just a quick reminder of where we started with the bookcase. And here's how it's looking now. I love how the DIY paper flowers turned out. I love how the colors all look together. I can definitely see myself using this for other projects, not just the bookcase. And another thought I had about this too is that I could go out and purchase fresh flowers, but I like the idea of being able to reuse these at a moment's notice. Or sometimes when I'm filming, I need to reshoot and the fresh flowers end up dying. So I like how realistic the paper flowers can look. And it was a project I had on my mind to do for a while, and I'm happy I got to do it. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.